Ano? Anong gagawin natin? Alright, so bagyo-bagyo na naman. Ngayon, andito na naman tayo makiasar, makibalita na naman tayo dito sa ating paligid-digid ngayon. Ano naman tayo, makigulo na naman tayo dyan sa kaguluhan dyan sa Quadcom, sa kakahabol nila sa mga Duterte. Dahil dyan sa hearing sa Quadcom, no, tumainit pa rin itong nung pagpunta ni PRRD doon sa Quadcom. Yung sari-sari ngang reaksyon galing sa mga tao. Pero magtataka ka talaga kung bakit ayaw na ayaw nila yung war on drugs. Pilit talaga nilang inaayawan yung war on drugs. Siguro alam na natin kung sino yung mga ayaw sa war on drugs.
And when I took over, I found out that 9 generals will involve in the trafficking of drugs. And I said that I'm going to build a comfortable, a safe city, a city where you can walk. And I asked the police, ask your wife and children to walk the streets at night. If they come home unmolested, unbridled by worries, not victims of mugging and crimes, because there were so many addicts. And I said, I want that kind of environment. Then I proceeded. This I would pose to the entire community of the world. Is it wrong for a president to see?
Balikan lang natin yung ano ni PRRD nung nagpunta siya sa Russia, yung speech niya doon sa parte sa war on drugs, no? Kasi nakakamiss talaga yung Tatay Digong doon sa war on drugs, no? Yung talagang tigas niya, na kagustuhan niya na maalis talaga yung mga drug addict at drug lord dito sa ating bansa. So balikan lang natin tong sinasabi ni PRRD doon sa Russia, nakasama niya mismo nakipag dialogue doon sila ni Putin at iba pang mga leader. Mula pa noon pa talaga hanggang ngayon, ayun pa rin ang panindigan ni PRRD dyan sa war on drugs na yan. Kinggan natin, balikan lang natin.
You know, during the time of 2 presidents ago, we were told by the United States itself that if we do not take care, if we do not watch out, our country will be swallowed by drugs. And it came to pass with about 2 presidents. And we saw mayors, city mayors, and the chairman of the most basic unit of government, 50,000 into drugs. And when I took over, I found out that 9 generals will involve in the trafficking. I said I'm not only fighting corruption from the inside of government. I was fighting corruption and the trafficking of drugs even in my government. And that is why I had to do something very fast. And now people say that my pronouncements actually encourage everybody to kill the drug lords and drug addicts.
Ito yung inaalmahan ng mga makakaliwain nung nasa Quadcom na ayaw nilang tudasin yung mga addict at sa mga drug lord, no? Gusto nila na buhayin para pag nakulong pakawalan lang din uli. Ganon siguro gusto nila, no? Mas gusto pa nilang mabiktima yung mga ordinaryong tao na naghanap buhay tapos bigla na lang sasakmalin ng mga addict. Yan siguro gusto nila.
You know, frankly, I would be happy to if that things happen. And I enunciated the rule when I became president. And that was also the same rule when I was mayor for 21 years. And I said that I'm going to build a comfortable, a safe city, a city where you can walk. And I asked the police, ask your wife and children to walk the street at night. If they come home unmolested, unbridled by worries, not victims of mugging and crimes, because there were so many addicts. And I said, I want that kind of environment. Then I proceeded. This I would pose to the entire community of the world. Is it wrong for a president to say that do not destroy my country, especially the children, because I will kill you? And that was my order to the armed forces and to the police. And right now, even as I fly here and go back, there are about, again, 2 generals who are still playing with drugs. And I said, well, I told you, do not destroy my country because it is being flooded with so many families created and become dysfunctional. You only have to have one addict in the family and the entire family collapses, becomes a socially disorganized unit. And I had to act fast. And the human rights are accusing me of murdering 70, now it's 20, now it's 7. So let me explain. These human rights guys are very eager to see a dead carcass of a criminal, a drug lord, a city mayor. And they would question me, why was he killed? Despite of the evidence of drugs all over the house, and one house of a certain mayor that was killed had paper walls stick with 500 pesos. It was made as a wall of the house inside. And so I said, I've warned you, do not do it, because I will kill you. But I also ordered the military and the police, go out and dismantle the organized crime of drug trafficking. And if you find your life in danger, I will order you to shoot them. Rather see a policeman or a soldier dead. In Marawi Rebellion, it started with a drug case. And so it was rebellion because almost everybody of that place, which was really the laboratory of the entire Philippines, where drug was produced and people had money, can see no business there except the stores. And yet there was one in another city, he had 100 cars, 2 Lamborghinis and so many Porsches. And yet the human rights would still insist on a wrong committed by me. So I'm telling them, I'm sorry. But if there is something, I told you dismantle. And if in the process you kill. And I said to the world, and to the United Nations, and to everybody, I take responsibility for all of the consequences of this drug war. I and I alone. If somebody has to be hanged, I will be happy. I will even put the noose on my neck and say, go ahead. Or if you want to shoot me in a firing squad, fine. Our national hero died before a firing squad. That could be an honor for me to be the same in this situation. But I do not aspire for honor. I do not aspire to be known. I'm just a citizen, a worker of government, and I will do what it needs, what I have to do, especially the next generation. That is what I have been known. They are always threatening me with bringing me to that would be it. We have courts in my country. The judges are independent. The prosecutors do not talk to them. And so I said, if there is somebody who will answer for this, I will, but you have to do your job. And I have fired so many prosecutors and judges because corruption was eroding the very foundation of government. And I said, came up with a statement. Little did I know that I will not only be fighting the criminals, the drug lords, the kidnappers. I was fighting men in my own government and the corruption that drugs cannot prosper. I tell you, unless the military and the police would allow. If the city mayor in my city, if I say, do not do it, if you have been to the Philippines, do not look at the carcass of the criminals. You get nothing. Look at the many thousands of families that are socially dysfunctional.